Every morning I wake up, I kiss both of them. We equally fight. When we make up, we equally come and we all start kissing.
Is he talking about how every morning him and these two girls have an orgy?
They're not having an orgy. They're in a couple.
They're in a couple? You mean a throuple?
Yeah, they're a couple.
They're not a couple. A couple is two. They're in a triple.
Yep.
I feel like they're related.
We'll find out.
Either that or he's just making brainwashed clones. I mean, look at them. Look at these two girls. They got the same hair, the same face.
Gonna be triggered off of this. It's your boy King Micah, and this is
Tim.
And I'm about to trigger him because I don't think he's gonna like this video.
Morning I wake up, I kiss both of them. We equally fight. When we make up, we equally come and we all start kissing.
Is he talking about how every morning him and these two girls have an orgy?
They're not having an orgy. They're in a couple.
They're in a couple? You mean a throuple?
Yeah, they're a couple.
They're not a couple. A couple is two. They're in a triple.
Yep.
I feel like they're related.
We'll find out.
Either that or he's just making brainwashed clones. I mean, look at them. Look at these two girls. They got the same hair, the same face.
Gonna be triggered off of it. All right, let's get into it.
Are you sure that this is real? Is this reality, Micah? This dude.
Like this. That's like that little triad kiss.
Aww.
I get jealous when I see my partner with someone else. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, let's talk about what we have here first off. Okay, so wait. Are these two together? Like this and this together? And then he's by himself. This one?
She's by herself.
And these two?
I don't know about those two yet. Man, okay, so I'm just gonna say something here. Okay. My prediction is that those three will stay together the whole time. Like they will probably just operate as one person the whole entire time.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
No.
Have you seen this yet?
No, I haven't seen this yet.
Okay. I think they're gonna operate as the same person.
I just feel like because like relationships. Well, maybe I'm biased because me and Nikki are so different.
Right.
And I feel like at least one of them are going to be way off the ballpark.
I don't think they will because thruples, I feel like a lot of the time, operate on compromising what you feel and believe for the better of the other two. So that way it doesn't cause problems. Because if you think about it, the kind of questions that are asked on this, that if they went to different places, it could potentially cause problems. And what was the first question?
Oh, this one's, you get jealous.
Exactly. Whenever you're seeing
I feel like,
people.
well, these people specifically shouldn't be jealous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, like...
but they also have to keep in that mindset.
Yeah.
Also, a question, Micah. Do we want to answer these questions ourselves as well as we go through this?
I mean, we can.
Okay.
What was the question?
Do you get jealous whenever you see your partner of somebody else?
How are we talking about? Like,
I think that's just the question. If
they're hanging out?
Like, if they're hanging out, I guess. I mean,
are we saying like hanging out?
I mean, these are all polyamorous couples, though.
Yeah, so it's gonna be hard for us.
So in that sense, I'm not poly, obviously. But
so,
if it means like sexually with someone else, I mean, I'm not polyamorous, but at the same time, I feel like it's something where you set boundaries even within that relationship. Yeah. So if you're with somebody else and we haven't discussed it within that mindset, then I wouldn't be cool with it. That wouldn't be all right because it's breaking the boundary.
Yeah, because you're supposed to discuss it. I mean, I'm sure they all have like discussed it. Okay, I see who the couple is. They're a couple. I'm assuming they're a couple. All right.
Just didn't do strongly disagree because, I mean, of course, jealousy is a factor in polyamory, but it's something that we just communicate about. And I do get jealous occasionally, yes.
I think in other parts of our lives, like work, friend, family, we kind of like suppress that jealousy. You can't really act out on it. So why, when it comes to relationship, you can just go and act out on it and get mad at your partner for it, or tell them you can't talk to this person or that person.
I found through polyamory that I thrive off of love from multiple people, and I don't think I'm somebody to take that away from people I love either. So I feel that it would be wrong for me to feel jealous when it's something that I want. Instead, I replace it with a word even a lot of polyamory people don't know, which is compersion, which is like the opposite of jealousy, where I actually feel really happy when I see my...
Compersion. I've never heard that word before.
Me either. The feeling of joy from others, pleasure, specifically celebrating your partner, other relationships, and a polyamorous structure. Kudos to her. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but kudos to her.
Yeah.
significant other with somebody else. Yeah.
So I haven't been in a quad, right, where there have been 4 of us and we were all sort of internally dating one another. But I have had 3 girlfriends at once, and these were parallel relationships. While jealousy isn't like a super huge problem that I deal with, it can emerge from other things other than seeing them with someone else, right?
We've been married for
14?
Micah,
So,
dating 3 people simultaneously in different relationships, having whole separate relationships with each of them. I mean, you and I hang out 4 days a week. I don't have time for that. That dude has no life outside of dating. Dating and work is all he does.
I mean, we're besties. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's different.
It
I
is,
feel
but
like
at the same time,
I feel like
you
if
see what I'm saying?
if you wanted to make time, you could. You know what I'm saying?
You could be seeing 3 people, 2 people a day, every day, while working and trying to keep your house clean. Dude better make enough money to have a maid. He's probably dating his maid. That's beside the point.
Oh man.
14 years?
14 or so, yeah.
13, 14, yeah, 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been married 14
We just realized that not one person can fulfill all your needs. Ingrid and I just dated for a minute, honestly. We actually were friends for a year, and then she realized she was out of my league.
That was low-key a call-out, but it was also a compliment.
And we remained friends since, and...
You couldn't handle me.
Nah, it's true. My family approves of my relationship. 3, 2...
This is gonna be one of the ones that they split. My prediction.
This might be the only one they split, Mike.
1, go.
Okay, so I'm actually over here, on the other side of this line, because I come from a traditional Korean Christian home, and me marrying a Puerto Rican was unacceptable. They pretended like he didn't exist, hoping he'd just go away.
Night before the wedding, are you sure?
2 weeks before the wedding, my mom was like, you can still call it off, right? And so it was pretty rough, which is why I'm not actually out to my parents. I don't really talk to them very much. There's no way that I can even approach this subject, which is kind of why I'm here today, because I want to show people, hey, look, we exist, and it's okay.
Coming out to my mom, it took actually a couple years. And so her reaction was more of a curiosity where she was just asking me questions about it. I think her unconditional love was the acceptance of our polyamory, that now she's able to show it off and talk about it to people that they don't understand, and she's able to that's my daughter, so it's pretty awesome.
While they support my lifestyle, I don't necessarily think that they quite understand it. When I have undergone separations or breakups with partners and tried to rely on my family for a little bit of emotional support to help me grieve those losses, sometimes I'm met with well, you got another partner. I don't see what the big deal is, right?
I guess the way my mom has always seen it.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's traditionally, you should, if you're going through a loss and grief, you should be able to rely on to the other person. That implies that that half the people are probably not okay with what's going on, but they like him enough to stick through it. But he's not trying to play the long game. That's what it sounds like.
No, his issue was that his parents are like if he goes to his family, they're like, oh yeah, don't you got another girl? Why you sad over this one?
Right, but if he's not trying to get married or marry anybody, then I mean, You see what I'm saying?
But you know what I mean, though? Like,
Yeah.
it'd be like, it's similar to like if you went through a breakup and like you trying to explain to your mom and she's like, but don't you have friends?
I mean, that's what I was thinking too. That's
Yeah.
that's probably spot on. It's like
Yeah.
you're basically just friends with benefits with multiple people
Yeah.
that are probably loyal to you somewhat.
Yeah.
So it's more like losing a friend than losing.
But
a
that
real
shit
friend.
still hurts.
It does. Oh no, I lost like
Yeah.
half my friends over the last year.
Yeah, man.
So I get it.
So that shit
Yeah.
still hurts. I'm not saying that. I think it's more serious than that, even than losing a friend. I don't know. It could be both, bro.
I don't know.
Cause like
if you're only dating someone for so long, and I think you normalize talking about things that would be deep conversations because you have so many partners consistently. So anything you talk about that's deep and meaningful, it's still deep and meaningful. It just loses that that importance, I believe.
I don't agree.
I mean, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
She's always seen like I'm in a relationship where I'm like a slave maybe in the background, and these girls are telling me what to do and controlling my life and taking away all my money. I was really emotional during our wedding because I didn't expect my mom not to show up to the wedding. I thought she was gonna be in the background just like mad, you know? They've always done a really good job of going to all my sport events, to everything that I've done in life, they've always been there, except for this one moment. Even our gender reveal, they didn't show up to the gender reveal either.
You can cheat in polyamorous relationships.
Yeah.
3, 2,
Yeah, it's outside
1,
your agreement.
go.
Anything that's outside. Whoa.
Ouch.
When you date somebody who's monogamous, right? Or let's say
You want to talk about this?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Why he went over there and the other one went over there and the other one went the other way?
somebody cheated. That's what happened. Somebody cheated, Micah. I am convinced.
Whoa. Let's get to them.
that they're married, and because you're polyamorous, they're like, oh, hey, look, you know, she's easy, or, you know, he's available. That's cheating. You're not cheating because you're being honest, but their partner is not consenting to the relationship that you're having with that person.
It is still an individual decision of mine to say, okay, well, am I going to involve myself or not? I mean, sure, I think that clearly they're cheating, and I may try to encourage them to, you know, like say, hey, you should tell this person what's up, but I'm not cheating. I'm you know what I'm saying?
Do you really want the other partner to show up with a shotgun?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Because, I mean, we've dated girls before, and the second we find out that there was someone else, boom, it's over.
As a conceptual question, could you guys cheat within your polyamorous relationships? If two of you were to engage one another without the third one, would that constitute cheating in some senses?
Well, my answer, because I met them together, I don't see that if they were in the mood that would be cheating. That
Gotcha.
if they, if they told me about it or whatever, just because their relationship was
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it was.
There's times where I'll start fooling around with her, and she'll come out of the shower. But before we finish, the other person will be there.
You can 100% cheat, and the reason being, like, we're open to pretty much everything. Like, we're allowed to have sex outside of the relationship, we're allowed to date other people, we date people together. But the problem is if you're not honest about it. If I just swiped on Bumble, whatever, went on a date, and I didn't tell her anything, that's cheating.
I want children. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, this is not an answer, I guess. Somewhat agree.
I went from wanting 4 kids to 2 kids to 0. Once we started paying bills and living in Los Angeles, I was like, I can't do this.
I'm of the mind of if we have children, somebody has to stay home to raise them. I'm born and raised Puerto Rico. I came out here to pursue a career that I have successfully made a living off. And she started her own business. Are you gonna give up your career to raise a child? She's like, no. She's like, are you gonna give up your career to raise a child? He's like, no.
It is kind of selfish on our part, and we understand that it's not the norm necessarily, but for us, it's worked out, and we love our life.
We're happier for it.
We're happier for it.
I strongly agree because I have a 9-year-old already. So, I mean, I just felt like it would be a little weird to be like, yeah, strongly disagree, right? I do think it's a separate question, though, right, of whether or not I'd like to bring more life into the world, right? And that's just something that I talk about and think about with partners and the like. But polyamorous children or children born into polyamorous families, aren't necessarily protected by the state or the society in the same way that people born into dyadic or monogamous units are, who can access marriage, so on and so forth. So
she's only 21, I'm only 23, so obviously there's gonna be some problems with that financially and stuff like that. But we do talk about having kids. I want a little boy and like, you know, to raise him, but I don't know, I just don't think I'm ready.
We never wanted to have children. We were probably on that side, way over there, you know? And after discussing the whole marriage thing, we're like, well, once we get a house and we do this, we'll eventually take that journey. So we got a house, then we actually ended up getting married. Now she's pregnant.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Was the green-haired girl the original girl he was with?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
This is the baby bump.
Okay.
We found like a birth center, even through COVID, that will allow all three of us in the room when the baby's born.
And then for the babies, we're gonna do like a power of attorney so that all of us can have the same type of guardianship over the baby, any medical or anything like that.
We actually found that this year, 3 dads were put on the same birth certificate for their kid. They actually wrote a book about it. I'm really interested in learning more, but with that, that means it's possible.
I am equally committed to all my partners. 3, 2, 1, go.
That's also about people looking up to the corner.
You know, they had to agree.
I really am somewhere between these two. What about, is here good? I'm struggling with the understanding equal. I don't think equal means the same, so I know I don't have the same commitment. How I orient myself towards keeping my commitment, I do think is the same. It may look like, to an external eye, that I don't have equal commitments to them all, right? So
I think that's why you're on this side closer than on that side, is because you're willing to be present, whether it be for one or the other. Like for
I mean, I kind of see what he's saying. I think it comes down to the dynamic of your relationship, and I think that's kind of what he's trying to explain.
Yeah. That dude's a good talker.
Yeah, that's how he's doing what he's doing, Mike.
He's a good talker.
That's how you do it.
For me, it's dating a male and a female. Like, I can do Chacha's eyelashes, but definitely not Jimmy's. He would not dig that. So there's totally that difference, but like a willingness to be present for your partners, whether they want that same affection or not. That's why I think you're a little more on this side than on that side, even if you're not all the way over here.
Yeah, that's why I'm on this side too, is the fact that, you know, I'm committed to making my relationships work. I'm committed to that person and to bringing to that person what they need from me. And then if I can't do it, then the relationship doesn't work.
Openness, communication, obviously being like, okay, I have a partner, this is my main partner. Maybe they just want to have sex, or maybe they just want to go on dates or have somebody to cuddle with.
This is my primary partner, so they are a priority at the end of the day. I feel like if we had a third person in our relationship, it would be equal and we would be on that side.
She's my nesting partner, she's my primary partner, she's the person that I have built my life around, and that's how I understood the question. It's not that my other partners are disposable. I mean, I will take a bullet for all of them.
So every morning I wake up, I kiss both of them. You know, if I'm mad at her, she gets mad at me. We equally fight, we equally come together. When we make up, we equally come and we all start kissing. We like this, let's set that little triad kiss. And then after that kiss, everything's good, and then we go out to eat.
Eat,
I mean, that's one of those things where you kind of have to be good with things. You have to make compromise and be like, okay, well, if I stay defensive and angry all the time about about not even necessarily stupid stuff, then it's just going to make the relationship not work.
You posted yesterday on Facebook talking about how relationships, man, and it kind of is relevant to this as well. You're talking about, like, if you're always defensive in relationships, that the relationship isn't going to work. You have to make compromises and be like, all right, my bad, I was wrong. And like since I've gotten older, I've been better about it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely in relationships, you have to not take defense to everything, because if you do, you're just gonna torture yourself. Because you're only gonna be happy in a relationship if you want to be happy in it.
Facts.
So.
And I like to add, because I knew that hierarchy existed, so when I met them, knowing that she's a girl and I could feel kind of that feeling of if someone were to enter my relationship, how I would feel. I never wanted to step on her toes. For me, it was very fluid and open and okay, to the point where I like hyperactively wanted to make sure she was okay.
Even getting her pregnant, we all discussed it, and she was, you should go get pregnant first.
My future relationships will be polyamorous. 3, 2, 1, go.
Whoop.
If I could find somebody who covers every single base, which I honestly am not really sure if that's even possible, but if they cover every single base, I, wouldn't need another partner.
I piggyback off of that because I'm similar, right? So for me, I said earlier, right, like my polyamory is not a numbers game. It could be one person, it could be more than one person. My future relationships will be polyamorous. I definitely mean like sort of like this polyamory in principle and not necessarily in like number.
For us, we started out monogamous, and then we opened the door to polyamory, and there's no shutting that door. And the idea that, like Ingrid was saying, like, would you need another person? Well, we believe we would need another person to do different things with.
I would like my future relationships to be polyamorous, but I also understand that life happens sometimes. If you were to get married or have kids, like you might not have the time to be in a polyamorous relationship. And also because we're open, I feel like any discussion, like you can talk to me about anything. So if my partner came to me and was like, hey, I think I want to be monogamous, I would definitely be open to that idea too.
So
I personally, I believe that once you're in a relationship with somebody and then you decide to take that relationship that direction, I feel that if you shut that door behind you, then it potentially causes fights because you're both agreeing to a certain lifestyle, and then if you change that, then one of you is less willing than the other. So that can lead to things about oh, well, you did this with that person, or you were more willing for that person to be involved with this.
Yeah.
And I think that would cause problems, and I think that would be the kind of the hardship there. I think you wouldn't really be able to shut it off. You'd kind of have to just move on to another relationship after that if you wanted something different.
Yeah.
I think that'd be one of the struggles there.
So it's not necessarily that I will be doing this for the rest of my life, but I do want the ability to be open to it. I don't want to be fully monogamous, but I guess I am open to it, like you said, with marriage, and there's many factors that go into it. That's the only reason I'm not on strongly agree, but I would more than likely want to be in a polyamorous relationship, even throughout my marriage.
Well, that is officially a wrap for you guys. So,
That was a cool video.
Oh, it was interesting.
I thought it was gonna trigger you more.
I mean,
trying to trigger Tim.
Trying to trigger me, man. For me, honestly, it's not. I don't have to agree with something for it to be acceptable. Because really, the way I look at love is that, I mean, I'm happy with you loving whoever you want to love, as long as you're being true to yourself and you're doing it for the right reasons.
Facts.
So, if these people were on here and they were, all douchey about it, oh, yeah, just, screwing hoes, doing whatever I want, then, yeah, of course I'm going to be triggered. I'll be like, that's not what life's about. This is not love, blah, blah, blah. But not if they actually love each other and care about each other. Then, I mean, who am I?
And it seems like they all do.
Yeah. It's not like some of those other videos where there's, some really crazy people on here that are just, straight up assholes. Did you watch the vegan episode? There was some. Yeah. There's some. that one was
oh yeah. Try to find out who's not vegan. Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about? Oh man. Oh. Vegans.
Not all of them, but some of them. My gosh.
Louise. Alrighty, guys. This is it for this one.